Hello everyone, welcome to the session. So in the previous session we have learned about PERT and CPM, how it helps in management, and the management information system, which is regarded as a primary information mechanism for collection and providing information to the managerial people for decision making purposes. We also saw the advantages of MIS, so on. I think now we have concluded with the controlling chapter. As a conclusion, we will just see what are the important keywords. I'll just revise you with what we have learned before. So controlling essentially means the power to influence certain objects or people to make sure that the planning is going efficiently, to make sure that there is no delay and everything. To present it simply, so controlling means influencing people or events to produce the desired results in an organization. And critical point control refers to controlling of event or people that is not performing as expected to the standard level. So in any controlling process, there will be a standard performance. The standard performance is set by the management as an expectation of how much a department or a division or a company has to achieve in the foreseeable future, say a month or a quarter year or a year. So in that period, according to the standards, if the department or the division hasn't performed well, the critical point control comes in, where the top management prefers to make necessary changes to make sure that kind of delay does not happen in the future. Management by exception is same thing. So in every controlling process, there will be some unexpected delays or defaults in the which does not meet the standards. Maybe it is overperforming or underperforming. So if the underperforming is up to the expected level, then it's all right. But if the underperformance is too much that it affects the overall performance of a business, then the management interferes in the business of the particular department or division, and they make necessary changes. So whether it is human resource, they will appoint other staffs. If it is production department, they will buy a new machinery. If there is any lack in infrastructure facilities, they will build new infrastructure facilities, so on and so forth. So making such necessary changes only in the department that requires such kind of changes immediately is called management by exception. So the primary principle of management by exception is that if you try to control everything, you control nothing. Therefore you only control the things that needs control immediately. And break-even analysis is just a ratio. Break-even analysis gives us an idea of how much a company has to make a sales. So in the end, it will gain a profit. It will incur a profit. It will gain some revenues. So in every organization, the production is concerned with two type of costs: fixed cost and variable cost. Fixed costs are something that does not change with the required units that are produced. For example, rent of a factory does not change depending on the amount of units produced, but the material costs change depending on the amount of units produced. If you're producing more materials, so if you're producing more number of units, you will require more materials. Therefore material cost is a variable cost. Fixed cost is a rent is a fixed cost. Therefore consolidating all these costs together, the organization comes up with the desired level of sales. Once you achieve that level of sales, the firm will be able to reap the desired level of profit for that financial year. So that kind of number is arrived using break-even analysis. Break-even analysis simply compares three things. One is fixed costs, sale, and contribution. So comparing this, all these three things, the firm comes up with the desired level of sales that is to be made for the upcoming year or any specific period. So budgetary control refers to preparation of budgets and controlling the subordinates and the processes according to the budgets. So budget is again just a standard that is set by the management. It is just an expectation of how much to be achieved for the upcoming year. So once a firm is able to achieve the kind of production capacity or whatever the capacity, depends on the department, the budget performed well. But if the departments have underperformed, then the controlling process needs to be done to make sure that the budget budget level will be achieved. Return on investment is a ratio of how much return is incurred to a firm compared with how much investment have been made in this in the previous year. So if a company has had a 10 lakhs investment and it produces a revenue of 1 lakh rupees, the return on investment is 10%. So that's how return on investment works. Return on investment is the ratio on which the stakeholders and the shareholders depend on to foresee the performance of a firm. If the return on investment is too low, the management tries to either increase the return by increasing sales, or they try to reduce the investment by selling off the assets and improving the return on investment ratio. And the ratio analysis comprises of all other ratios such as liability ratio, current ratio, profit on investment ratio, equity ratio, so on and so forth. These ratios present a true and fair view of the company's financial position and its performance year after year. Whoever the accounting users, whether they are internal or external users, make use of this ratio for the purpose of decision making. Responsibility accounting is simply nothing but foreseeing the responsibilities of different divisions, departments, or the overall company. Responsibility accounting is one form of accounting that is included with financial management and the cost accounting. And responsibility accounting is concerned with if whatever the responsibilities that are provided to the people, to the employees, if they are performing, if they are maintaining that responsibility. And management audit is an audit conducted by the top management to again review the functions of management, how it could improve all the management processes, and if there are any drawbacks or delays or deficiencies in performance of the management, and how they could rectify those errors and everything. Management audit is not a mandatory audit by the imposed by the government. It's just an optional thing that the entrepreneurs do to make sure that the management process is being performed well. PERT and CPM or planning processes, especially used in high value projects, but it can be used in any projects. As specifically, PERT means creating a network chart. The chart shows us what are all the processes needs to be done and what will the time frame that is required to complete the process. So it essentially divides the process into various small tasks and arrange the small tasks in a logical order. So after arranging in logical order, it estimates the time required and the cost required for completing the project. Know that the PERT only cares about the time estimate, and the CPM cares about both time and cost estimates. In PERT, there are three kinds of time estimates, that is optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely. Optimistic shows us the fastest way to achieve the fastest time to achieve the task. A pessimistic view shows us the longest time that is required to achieve the task. Most likely is an average between the two. So management information system is MIS. It is a form of collection and dissemination of information to the top management. It is concerned with a collection of all the data from all the employees of the various departments, and consolidating all the information, dividing all the information into various categories, and presenting that information in a way that it will be most useful for the top management for decision making purposes. Therefore, the top management is not suffering from lack of information or overload of information, wherein it is presented with too much information, and the management does not know what to consider, or it's not facing the problem of grapevine communication and other forms of untrustworthy information. So management information system provides accurate, up-to-date, and timely information to the management of an organization, to make sure that the decision making process is supported in all forms.